To the people that come and go in this wrestling business, I understand it could be quite hard. Of course, I don't like hearing people lose their jobs. And certain people that outlived, I don't want to say usefulness, but some of these are some negatives and some of them are some positives. Like always. Dana Brooke hasn't been on the roster, on TV in possibly over near 2.5 years. I think the last relevant thing she did was tag with Mandy Rose back in Mania 2021 in Tampa Bay. That was it. Do not know who Quincy Miller is. Mansoor and Massey had something going in the tag team. Then they put Dio Madden over back on NXT to get jobbed out. Nothing happened for their group. After LA Knight just spurred out of the moment because he knew he wasn't going anywhere with the gimmick. Dabakato, that was the security. No, that was Omos. He was big muscle for Apollo Crews. He was one of the guys that Shane McMahon hyped up because he's big, he's ethnic, he got no particular look, he's fat, and as soon as the Commander Aziz gimmick blown out because Apollo Crews went back to NXT, didn't keep the gimmick with him, so he didn't go with him, so he just spurred in the catering. Tough. Aaliyah, hot chick. That's all I know about her. Barely see her on TV after she lost the tag titles. And just obscurity, possibly over on main event or something. Not particularly in the main event, if you get what I mean. But she just wasn't particularly, I guess, treated. I guess she was getting some heat or something. But she's released. Top Dollar. Other than that they botched up his feud, his entire run over with the Hit Row. I'm shocked not everybody is released from Hit Row. In general, Top Dollar, I know he was garnering some bad heat from social media, getting into it with some Hall of Famers, botching over some spots, not really fitting in over with the group. And don't really feel bad for him. Madcap Moss, he had a particular look. At least he looked somewhat like a pro wrestler. Was getting jobbed out, so we got jobbed out with Emma watching. Emma got released too after she got signed back like over a year ago. After she was on Impact, actually winning the knockout tag titles with Madison Rayne. I still don't know why she just dropped the ball like that when she could have gotten at least somewhat more recognition over on Impact, where there's lesser competition to go by, and you weren't particularly that notable over on the Impact roster to begin with. So I don't get it. I think the biggest one here is Dolph Ziggler and Shelton Benjamin. They're just well-accustomed faces, and when Shelton Benjamin, I thought he was gonna build up back over with their Hurt Business stable, but we know like there's better, younger, more potential to be had, while Lashley's still somewhat in the main event scene with the Hurt Business. So it sucks because I was a big fan of Shelton Benjamin when I was younger, and knowing that he just got released, not even over as an executive role. It's tough. Elias, I think we already got expiration of Elias's contract expiring over with the company and him getting released. Mustafa Ali also got released too, but no one really cares. But Elias, I think a lot of fans, especially fans that want that aspect of a guy that looks like a wrestler, can actually impact the crowd with his reactions. People thought Elias had that potential, just like how LA Knight has that potential. Has the look, has the charisma, can talk, can depict crowd reaction to actually garner heat. But he keeps losing out with the fan, and that Ezekiel gimmick just fucked him over a lot more. And it's tough because I liked Elias. I thought he had potential to be and whenever like we're going over favoritism over in WWE, it's not always that they should be depicted in the like world champion, but at least particular like Intercontinental champion have a bit more high profile feuds that depict the personality more. And Elias even had his own gimmick match, the Symphony of Destruction match, and how do you lose every time in your own gimmick match, bro? That's a bit tough. That's pretty sad. You have a worse win-loss record in your own gimmick match than the Great Khali. Like, the Great Khali, that's a fault of his own. He has gigantism. How in the hell are you supposed to coordinate yourself to climb up 2 layers of a cage faster than a guy that's more steadily able to like climb over stuff in a faster pace? Like, I thought the gimmick match was stupid, and they did that with several other people because a 7 foot man struggling to do that is gonna be hard to watch while trying to sell over punches and shit. It's dumb. But Elias, I'm a bit upset, but this can garner more opportunity for Elias, knowing that there's companies that possibly need a guy like Elias, companies that probably need that type of push when it comes to personality that can depict over crowd reaction and get over some type of selling point with the wrestling fans, and you kind of need that in a promotion. I feel like he would set well over on Impact, knowing like the Impact fan base hasn't felt alive since like '07. In my opinion, I'm not gonna lie. We know Dolph Ziggler's possibly gonna. I feel like he's gonna sign back because Ziggler has been somewhat of a cockroach, just like how Impact's been the cockroach of the wrestling business. And the saddest thing is, this is over the fact of Ziggler just having like a steady tenure of like, this is how to be a upper mid carder for the rest of your career. After like the tag team with Rude, he hasn't been doing much except he won the NXT title. And if you're getting pushed over in developmental, and you already lack the credibility to even get the developmental championship over, why do we have to sign you again? Like, that's a bit dumb of a strategy from WWE to begin with, and they've always dropped the ball, even though Ziggler, in my opinion, is the most overrated, underrated wrestler people talk about. I could understand the support Ziggler has to even get other guys over, and he's obviously depicted in the business as like a reliable worker, but that's not always going to depend on if he goes to another company that they'll treat him as big as how they did Matt Cardona outside of WWE as like a main eventer, or how they did Christian Cage and how he's depicted as a main eventer if he goes to a different company. I don't know if Ziggler is going to have that type of importance like Christian or Matt Cardona, even though he has the credentials to back out, like he has a Hall of Fame resume. I can accept that, but yeah, Mustafa Ali was part of Retribution. He was the goddamn leader of Retribution. I can understand why he was released. And depicting on like any type of semblance of that little mini push that he had around just jobbing out and having 50-50 matches while getting like, you can get him next time by Ricochet every time, it was dumb. He was perceived whiny. Even the Muslim bias couldn't even serve him over. WWE still doing Saudi shows, and just knowing like he had no depiction of skill. You're just a 7-Eleven Seth Rollins. Mustafa, I'm happy that you released. Good luck somewhere else. I just hate the depiction all because you're just a good worker. And this goes for everybody. All because you're a good worker doesn't mean that you're going to be a steady hand in this business. You're disposable unless you give some merit of profitable value over to the WWE, whether you like it or not. That's why Big E's with like a broken, like possibly with a decapitated neck, and he's still over in the WWE. Seriously. He got more financial help than Jesse Swerson did over on Impact after he got an injury incident that even Impact couldn't even keep paying. Because he wasn't worth the risk. Just like Mustafa Ali. And I hate to say that, but I really don't care. No, not everybody, I feel like on the women's side of things. I thought I would be seeing Veer on this list after he was advertised all this much, and I swear to God, I've seen him less times in my life than my father. And just knowing, I think Brunson Montana Yeah. Oh, he's a wrestler. He's a wrestler. Yeah, so Brunson Montana from NXT's been released. I guess he was one of the collegiate athletes that Vince was heavily trying to sted out to make like raw talent to build up, and he did not last. Coming from the NXT brand, or Quincy Miller, that I guess he's another NXT. Oh God, I think that's the basketball player. Holy sh! Oh, Quincy Miller's the fat gay bit. Oh God, is he just fat and gay? Is this just a gay viscera? This is just a gay viscera, and they released him. Yikes! And Rick Boogs, man, I was upset to hear about Rick Boogs. Other than the Shinsuke Nakamura entrance, Boogs was buff, just a buff, heavy lifting guy that can't get over by himself. It sucks to hear that, because I guess in a different scenario, if Boogs had his own original gimmick, other than trying to carry over as a hype man, I feel like his trajectory would have went a bit differently. But you know, it's what you could do at the moment than what you could do now, because you can't be gaining money off what ifs, and it sucks to say that, but that's the truth how WWE runs things. I hope certain fans get to understand how this works. It sucks to hear these people lose their jobs. I really wished it wasn't depicted as this, but there's a why, there's a what, there's a where, and there's a how in life. So that's all I can point my figures to in this video. Tell me how you feel down below in the comment section, how you feel about these releases. What was the worst release? What was the best release? That'll be coming from the DST show. Like, comment, subscribe, share with everybody you know. Hopefully they're real. And we can get this channel growing. We're just 5 more subs over to 300. Let's get to 300, 400, 500. I'm a